Well, hello everyone. How are you? I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to share one of my favorite go-to for breaking my fast. So I guess you would call it my breakfast, breakfast. But I also wanted to show a couple of tips that I do when cooking veggies. I've had a couple questions like, how do you get the vegetables done at the same time? How do you make them where by the time we're done eating, everything's hot? So I always start out with my thicker vegetables first. Obviously, today I'm doing some asparagus and some bell peppers. So I'm going to put those in the pan first. Now, today I'm needing a little extra fat, so I'm putting some butter in instead of coconut oil. Every once in a while, I like to do that. I just have to kind of go easy on the butter. And if you followed my other cooking video or know me well, you know I have to put a little garlic in. I do have some real garlic, but I'm trying to hold off on using that because I'd like to roast it and haven't done that yet. And then obviously I'm going to put some salt in, some sea salt. And the other thing too that I've been using a lot that you'll see me in these little packets, that's nutritional yeast from the health food store that I work in. I'm trying to get some extra B1 in, so I've been adding that to everything I can. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just start sauteing some of those veggies that are a little bit thicker. And I recommend that, sometimes that's part of your prep work is cut your veggies first, put in the thicker ones. That way they have a little time to cook before you put everything else in. I also sometimes will cook a little extra veggies, and then whatever's left over, I put them on the side for a quick grab if I want to put them into something. So this is like the very first trick to making sure that your veggies all come out cooked at the same time. And there's a learning curve. I'm not always perfect with this, but it's a good start to making sure that by the time you're done, the asparagus will be cooked the way you like it, and the bell peppers, and you're not you're not making them so mushy you don't like them or so crunchy that they don't feel like they're cooked. I also, during this time, if I had a little extra time and I wasn't making a video, it wouldn't matter so much. But I'm pulling out a lid to put on because I'm going to steam them a little bit while they're in the pan. That way, the video isn't very long. And let's say that you're rushed in the morning. I like to make food that doesn't take very long to make. Not that I don't like spending time in the kitchen, but I learned that prep is key, and that sometimes, putting a lid on it just for a little bit and turning the heat up sometimes can make a little bit of a difference between a few minutes. This also gives me a time to prep everything else. I want to put some other things in there this morning, and this gives me time to get that ready and get my plate ready and anything that I might be putting on the side. I also, I like to layer my veggies in there. So as you can see, I put some mushrooms in. I'm going to let those be in there for a little bit. And it's all about just timing. And I guess for me, food is all about feel too. I like to, like most people, I like to eat with my eyes, but my taste buds need to be delighted, and it needs to be healthy for me. Food is medicine, and if you're putting in the wrong food, then it could mess you up a little bit. If you're eating the right things, you have a better chance of surviving life in general and the stresses of life. And just good nutrition, it's fuel, Food is fuel too. It's what keeps us going. So right now I'm just kind of shaking around those veggies. I'm also getting like I said, my side things prepped. I don't know if you could hear that in the background, but some ducks are passing overhead right now. I know they're not ducks, they're geese. I call them ducks all the time. If you are stuck on specific words, this isn't the channel for you. If you feel like correcting me all the time, this isn't the channel for you. Like the doctors say, I'm lucky I can get out any words. So, yes, I think that getting the veggies in first and getting them going is really a good way to start what I'm about to make, which leads me into why I'm so excited to make this video. Some of you have learned that I'm allergic to eggs, and so it's very interesting that omelets out of the Betty Crocker cookbook was the first food item I learned to make by myself and was so proud of myself for making it. And this is my go-to now. I love to have not only veggies for breakfast, and as you can see, my typical choices are in there: kales, mushrooms, asparagus, bell peppers, a little olive oil, a little butter, a little seasoning. And yes, this is yummy, but what really gets me excited is the fact that we are going to put this into an omelet and make a veggie omelet out of it. Yeah, I'm so excited. I remember when I had to stop eating eggs, I was so devastated because, everything has eggs in it. And my breakfasts were eggs, scrambled eggs on toast, so what we used to call Popeye toast, where you'd crack your egg in the center of it. So, I used to be the hard-boiled egg queen. I could make the best hard-boiled egg. So it was really devastated when I couldn't eat it anymore and had to start being very creative with what I ate. And as you can see, I've become very creative. I'm not afraid to throw anything in that pan, from tomatoes to kale to carrots to Swiss chard. Like if you've watched my other cooking video, I talk a little bit about veggies. It's very interesting how all the veggies that our parents told us we need to eat because they were healthy and we thought they were terrible, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, come to find out they are very good to us. Our parents weren't lying, and that we need to try to get them in where we can. And for me, I love an omelet. And I was so disappointed and so devastated. And then a few years back, I started to see a product coming out from Just Eggs. I'm sure you see it sometimes in the egg aisle. And I've been following them very closely and using their product for a very long time. And I'm just so excited that now it could be a real staple of my, what I call brunch, since I usually break my fast around 10. I can eat a little bit more and fill my tummy a little bit more. So what you just saw me doing was getting the veggies ready. I'm kind of like putting them in the center so they'll cook a little even, but also getting ready to pour that. And I just pour it right on top. And if you watch a lot of my videos, I don't care really what it looks like, as long as it tastes good. And, it does sometimes mean that I overfill when it comes to my Just Egg omelets, but it's so good. So I'm going to kind of just give you a little hint about cooking omelets, whether it's with a real egg or whether it is with a Just Egg product. What you see right there is I'm putting in some pickled onions. I'm also been trying to get more fermented food into my diet, and so I'm adding that in. And that's what I suggest. Once you put your egg base in, then some things that are already cooked or that are not going to take very much time to cook, I put them in right now. And that little shake you see me doing is when you put the egg in, you'll see that it's kind of loosely in there. It's kind of still wet. And so what you want to do is you kind of want to shake that pan a little bit. Not only does that distribute the egg evenly across the pan, but it gives you a cooking idea. And of course, there I am, more yeast, nutritional yeast, to get some B1 in there. And then I'm definitely going to be pulling out a little cheese. I'm not a big fake cheese girl, but lately I've noticed I need to give up cheese. And so I'm going to transition with a little transition cheese. And it melts now, and it has a good flavor. It's not too costly. And it just gives me a little bit of that yum that I like between the veggies. I mean, there's a reason why our parents put cheese on, broccoli and Brussels sprouts and all the things they wanted us to eat, but we wouldn't. It gives it a good flavor. And, especially calcium. We need to get our calcium. And cheese is a great way to do that. But I also know that for me, I need to cut back. And so this was my choice today. Just put a little bit in there. Now, like I said through the video, you see that I'm grabbing that handle and shaking that pan a little bit. Once again, I'm testing to see how that egg's coming along cooking. And I'm also watching the melting of the cheese. That way I'll kind of know. Now, I have a little trick that I do. Is what you see is I'm edging. So what I'm doing is I'm going around the pan right now, and I'm just kind of testing to see how that egg is cooking, and to make it easier for me to do an easy just fold over flip. I did notice I filled it a little full, and so obviously it's going to be not as easy to fold over as I have with something that doesn't have very many ingredients in it. This also gives me a chance to see how I'm going to fold it, because the worst thing you do is fold the good side over the bad side and then try to slide it onto your plate. It becomes scrambled eggs really quick. So this is a good way for me to kind of test. I'm moving my plate around because I also know now that the way I have my plate set up is not going to be the way I enjoy it. Like I said, I like to eat with my eyes too. And, I love omelets. And what's really difficult and kind of funny is when I go to restaurants and I'd say, I like a veggie omelet with no eggs. Wow, the waitresses that look at me strange are kind of funny. But now they're getting used to me. And a lot of them have what they call a Justine special. And it's usually just the veggies cooked that they would put in. And I used to, before I was a diabetic, I'd have them put them over home fries. And that was the Justine special. But now I try to avoid potatoes as much as possible. But like I said, I really enjoyed this recipe. Yes, I filled the pan. Like, why don't you have a bigger pan, Justine? I get it. I told you it's portion sizes. But I noticed that when I do the omelets in these smaller pans with a lot of stuff, they become big fat omelets, which are great. And like I said, I like just the fold over. I'm going to take those tomatoes and fill up a couple of those holes, make it look a little better. I know no one's eating it but me, but I still want it to look good on the plate and be happy that I did a good job. And even more happier that I'm able to eat omelets again, thanks to Just Eggs. If you haven't tried that product, like I said, I'm not sponsored by them. I just love their product. I've had quiche with it. I've made little mini muffins. Like I said, I get to have my omelet again and use it in baking products. It's just been really great. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching me cook an omelet. I'm sure if you follow my pages, you'll see them more often. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial and got to spend cooking breakfast with me. And there it is, a Just Eggs omelet. Well, have a great day, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one.